is an intro. I don't want to fucking talk about Tremors 5. This is an intro. I'm singing music from Tremors 4 instead. Listen to an intro. This is much a better soundtrack. Listen to the intro. Now we're done for now. I know I've started every other one with a song, and I will with the other ones, but I am just so fucking sad, podcast audience. Hey everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of Talking Tremors. I am your host, Levi Dylan Burzloff Lutt. Okie dokie, man. If you just listened to me do the Tremors 5 commentary, welcome back. Did you kill yourself? Obviously you didn't, because you're still here. So I'm glad I could keep you alive just a little bit longer. Oh, man. That movie. I really want to get these two over with, because this series is so sad in that sense. I would like to talk about something I like. But yeah, Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under, and Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Wait, what? Hold on. Wait a minute. You're asking yourself, hold on. There's another one? Is that some fan fiction, some bullshit you made up? No, folks. No, I did not. It is an actual script written by the Stampede people that they worked on since the end of Tremors 4 in 2004. And yeah, they wrote a script for the last 10, 15 years for Tremors 5 over and over again. They did about 7 or 8 drafts. Yeah, so if you're living in the world that Tremors 5 Bloodlines is the only Tremors 5, welcome to the stamp meme. Like, fucking, woo! Okay. Yeah, it gets hard. If you're watching or listening to this, and you want to follow along in a sense, a big chunk portion of this is going to be taken from the Hollywood Unseen Graffiti with Punctuation article written by another film nerd. I don't know their real name. I got to figure that out. Did this great article, talked to Steve, not Brent, because Brent also wants to kill himself because of all this, about what happened with Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under, and the entire process that led to that not happening, even though it did happen. So thank you. Yeah, if you're listening, follow that link. Go check it out right now. And if you don't know, Stampede Tremors made Tremors. Stampede Entertainment made it from 1985, really. Like, the movie Tremors was filmed in 89, but there's a bunch of legwork that happened in terms of writing a script and getting it all to happen that started in the mid-80s. And they did that, and that was Brent Maddock, Nancy Roberts, Ron Underwood, and Steve S.S. Wilson. And those 4 people, for the first 4 movies and TV show, made everything. Like, Ron Underwood kind of halfway went off, but he was always there in the background doing something. But those, at least Nancy, Brent, and Steve, always working on Tremors. Like, that was their main thing, at the expense of everything else in the end. But trying to make that and do that well, because that was the thing that they could control. That was why they made the first Tremors movie, was they wanted actual autonomy in their sets and stuff. They were tired of having to deal with Hollywoodness and ended up like, oh, let's make this movie so that way we can choose what we want to do. It comes from an original Steve Wilson idea, where he was on a boulder and just, what if I couldn't get down from this rock? Which might be also an episode of The Outer Limits that Steve was influenced by. I don't know, Steve. What do you think? This idea permeated, got created. You got your first Tremors movie everybody knows and loves. Second Tremors movie. Third, fourth, have your opinions about them. But them and the TV show, they all tried to make it together. It got wonky during the TV show era because of what ended up happening. They made these movies for a good 35 years, and then Universal was just like, meh, we don't, you can go fuck yourself. Listen, you don't understand. We want money. Money, you see? We're gonna take all the money. Because we don't like monsters, but we're gonna use monsters to make money. Because we're monsters ourselves. That's the projection metaphor that's happening here, folks. Ha! Scooby-Doo mask. God, it fucking pisses me off. That's why I hate doing these ones. I would like to talk about just like, oh, the behind the scenes, that's a miniature. This is how they made the miniature. This is how they filmed that shot. Or this is what that person was thinking as they filmed that shot. Yeah, I'd like that. It's so much better than this. Stampede made it. And honestly, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the pilot episode. I just like reading straight from Steve Wilson's quotes for how events played out. Michael Gross, who played Burt Gummer, would be the first one to say that the running joke was that he was the only one willing to show up. Kevin Bacon, in case it wasn't obvious, Val McKee, bowed out before Tremors 2, although he did consider it briefly. We flew out to New York and saw him, but at the time he hated the movie. He hated it for about 20 years. At the time, he'd had some flops, and Tremors wasn't a breakout hit. He was incredible to work with, and when we went to see with him, he was very polite. But he said, guys, you know what? People don't come up to me and say, you're so great in that Tremors movie. They just say, the monsters are so cool. He was very, very pleasant to us, all the while saying, no. Then Fred Ward, Bacon's co-star, came back for the second film, but didn't want to do any more after that. So in Tremors 3, we knew it was only going to be Michael, and we knew that Burt needed sounding boards. He needed real people who he can interact to and who can react to him. So we decided to get someone who could fill that Val role, Desert Jack, and we brought in Susan Chuang to be the new Walter Chang, and use those characters to ground the story and let Burt be his outlandish self. So there's a whole thread of them continuing to work on this, always knowing what they're doing before, and passing their own torch to each other. And around the time Tremors 2, the studio was just beginning to come to grips with what the direct-to-video universe was all about, and how successful it could be. The video department begged the studio proper to make Tremors 2, and then it was a while before we made Tremors 3. That was designed to be the last one. The thinking being that surely we couldn't milk this for more than those two sequels. But by that time, it was rolling forward on its own momentum. And they ordered Tremors 4 almost immediately. We explained that we'd structured 3 to be the end of the sequels, that we'd ended the life cycle of the monster and brought it full circle. The studio wasn't bothered and basically said, well, what can you do? We asked if they'd mind if we made it a Western and start over. Their response was, we don't care, as long as it's called Tremors. So that's why Tremors 4 is a Western. And there's an underlying thread that you'll hear I like to repeat. The studio executives at Universal constantly saying, we could put Tremors on an empty box and sell it. And Steve even talks about it. Okay, you halfway took a compliment at the time, but then as things actually progressed, you're like, oh my God, no, you were just fucking with us. And that's, you actually do plan to put Tremors on an empty box and sell it. It doesn't matter. You're going to buy off of our time for everything that we put into it so you can make an easier buck. So that's happening. All right, let's make Tremors 4. And I forgot where we were with Tremors 4 when they came to us with the series. So they're filming Tremors 4 and Sci-Fi Universal is like, hey, you want to do a series? And what's funny is that they've actually pitched the series way in the 90s and shit. That was one of their first original ideas for a sequel, was to have Val and Earl go out across country, fighting the Bigfoot in a ghost costume, and the killer shrimp that you do see in the Mixmaster episode, and an old man vampire, and a thing in the trees that's an octopus, and flying shit, killer toasters. they had this idea like years ago and stuff. So then somebody somewhere must have heard this pitch. Like, this is me, like, I'm putting enough together. Heard that pitch and then was like, hey, let's, like, you guys got a series, you want to do it again? And Sci-Fi, which Universal owned at the time, came to us and said, what about a series? We'd actually pitched a series years earlier, so we had materials half ready to go. We were making the series, and Universal called and said, we need Tremors 4. We said we'd do it, but they said, you don't understand. We need it now. You have to pull Michael out of the series for the last few episodes and start shooting immediately. Brent and I had been writing and rewriting scripts, and I had to leave, leaving Brent handling the final few episodes. This was an interesting experience, because when you sit down with writers, they see Tremors as farce. Now, don't get me wrong, they were seasoned writers, more experienced than us with the daily grind of television, but it's a difficult tone. It's horror, yet it's comedy. And you can't make fun of the monsters. You can't make fun of the characters. Added to that, we were barely prepared for the incredible grind of television to get scripts out, get them to Mexico, field calls from directors, review dailies, and then call the directors to talk through what worked and what didn't. And I had to leave all that on Brett so that Michael and I could go start pre-production on Tremors 4. Jesus fucking Christ! So they knew that they had a TV show. They knew that they had it ready to go. And like, let's do that. But while we're in the middle of making a TV show, hey, you want to make... We got to... Tremors 4 now! Wait a minute, you don't understand, see? The popcorn people, they need the Tremors 4. They need to get it here. And we gotta put it on the circus, you see? I do these voices because it makes it a lot easier to get through these horrible ideas. But, yeah, like, that's an example of the turmoil. Like, that's how, like, and that's not even really getting into it. That is a brief fucking summary. Holy shit. I will do it as I go through every single fucking movie, what the problems were and what happened and stuff. But this, specifically, yeah, all that. Tremors 2, or we want a Tremors 3, but that's going to be the end of it. Oh, wait. Nope, that's not going to be the end of it. We need a TV show that you already said you had. Oh, wait, while you're making that TV show, can you make 4 for us? Oh, never mind, 4 didn't do as well as we thought it would. Goodbye. Wait, but we want Tremors 5, too. It seems like I'm talking schizophrenically, but that is the situation. Oh, it's fucking frustrating. To no goddamn end. I gotta stop, and breathe. I'm only 12 minutes in. 13, and I'm still so angry. Okay, so we're at Tremors 4. Moving into Tremors 5. It was Tremors 5. It was written while we were doing Tremors 4. Everybody was excited by the idea, and for a while, there was talk of an even bigger budget and the potential for it to be a theatrical feature. So we were looking to how we could be really different. And one of the ideas that came up was putting Bert in another country. We felt Australia had its own Wild West element to it, and none of us had ever been. But it seemed like it would be a fun place to go and would make a natural fit for Bert's character. Are you getting hints of what, have you seen the Tremors 5 of the Bloodline? Maybe. I'd hope so. If you're listening to a podcast about Tremors, I really freaking hope you've watched enough of the movies to understand what the fuck is happening. If not, goodbye. Or I'm very entertaining, whichever. So, we had talented people on board for the series and for Tremors 3 and 4. They brought people in and almost halfway learned their lesson here. John Welpley, writer of 3, and Scott Buck, writer of 4, came back with their own ideas based on our stories. But it can also be a frustrating process because we get stuck on what we would do. We rewrote the writers on the series, and we did on the films too. And at the time, we thought we had sufficient time available to do it ourselves. And so we decided to do it, instead of giving the story to someone else, reviewing their draft, coming back with notes, then rewriting their work. We just thought we'd write it and then it'd be done without that process. By now, Michael Gross's Burt Gummer was firmly ensconced as the face of the franchise. When we made the first... let's just talk about Michael Gross. Michael Gross is awesome. It doesn't not necessarily apply yet to what I'm talking about. Because I feel bad for Michael. Yeah, but I do love this. Like, it's so cool. And I wish Kevin Bacon knew this about Valentine or Tremors. That, like, Michael Gross talks about, as an actor, you're lucky to get a role that is people recognize you on the street for. And, for someone to come up and, do that completely awkward fan thing of, geeking out over you because of a single character, that's pretty cool. But to do it with two characters, and Michael Gross would, like, he had people where it's, oh yeah, I love, you are my dad, you raised me in Family Ties, and then also turn around on the same heel other people, oh, and you're my Burt Gummer uncle that, like, raised me in Tremors, and to have that, like, oh wow, you actually are recognized that much. And I feel so bad for Kevin Bacon, because if he had leaned into it more, he would have gotten that, and he already halfway does, where it's, oh, you're like Ren in Footloose, oh, and you're Val in Tremors, man, like, boo, we know those. And you know what, I choose Footloose because I feel like that is Kevin Bacon's other most prominent role. We all love Footloose. Man, I would love to see, like, Kevin Bacon actually dancing in the desert to, like, a song. Like, that would just be the dope, like, in perfection, just doing an actual Footloose dance for some reason to distract a graboid. That would be awesome. That's why I love the Tremors pilot with Andrew Miller, and it has that at the end where he's singing that, what's going on, and actually dancing. Tops. So yeah, man, lean into it. If you're gonna be Tremors, be Tremors. If you're gonna do that, you're doing it. Don't fucking wuss out on it. Tremors 5 Bloodlines. Yeah. So, basically the reason to bringing up Michael was like, yeah, we knew Michael Gross is just gonna come back, like, he's always there. But also, like, knowing that eventually he's gonna need to, like, pass things on. If people get old. It's the running theme in those movies. Burt is always planning for what just happened, but the graboids do a reversal on him. We wanted to stay true to that, but we also didn't want to break our own rules. One of which was that there would be no queen graboid. The thing we realized was that Burt had never seen a baby graboid. We figured that would still work. Admittedly, we did bend that rule a little bit near the end with the Aussie graboid, which would have been much bigger and weirder, but when we were writing, we always started with the idea of being true to what we've said before, to the world we've set up, and to the fans. It made sense for the graboids to be showing up in other parts of the world. People would know what they were, and people would know that Burt's the guy to ask. Again, if you've seen Tremors 5 Bloodlines, you're starting like, damn, is this just the whole movie? Did they just take the whole movie? Maybe. Fucking yes, they did. Like 75%. I got like a list here. Yeah, Burt's got a love interest in it. And which I would so much prefer to Travis being the son thing. I talked about it in the Tremors 5 Bloodlines thing where Burt and Heather in the first movie had decided to be child free because they thought like the World War III was coming and they didn't want to bring children into that. That's why they moved out into the middle of the desert and were doing what they were doing. And I totally think that when World War III stopped being an option, that was definitely part of, like, if you're going to had to write Reba out of it. She probably wanted kids in a sense, and he did not. And so to have Burt actually have a son, and, like, the only consequences of it are just, like, accepting that he exists and not actually really changing as a person or learning anything about it is kind of like, ow, okay. Burt doesn't change at all over then the next course of the 3 movies. But adding the idea of a love interest, I really like, because you have that, there's always that thread in each of the original Tremors, Val and Rhonda, Earl and Kate, Jack and Jody, Hiram and Christine. Let's have Burt and Margaret. Yeah, Margaret Campbell. Yeah, I don't know, continue that, but, give Burt the love interest. If you're going to focus that, actually do it, there's the lens to go off of for a continuation. Now I just every time I'm just like, damn man, fuck, that would be so cool. And the article here is just really just taking you through everything that's good. If you, like I said, if you want to know more, read the Graffiti with Punctuation article about Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under. Steve Wilson got drafted for the Army in like the 70s. Thankfully didn't go off to fight or anything, just ended up doing film work at a Navy research base in China Lake. And seen a lot of guns, obviously, and was always upset with the way that guns got portrayed in movies. That's why the super turret in Tremors 3 is there. He's so tired of you don't show a proper 50 caliber. That's the same thing with Tremors 2, where the Shrieker explodes, actually showing this fucking devastation of a bullet, and not just the cool it explodes, but fucking no, but it keeps going. Yeah, you got to show the danger of it. Or at least the limitations, or just how folly-ish the whole thing is. And there's this one, and I saw one of those miniguns fired, and it's something they've never got right in movies. It's not this rat-a-tat-a-tat sound like machine gun. It's unlike anything else you've ever heard. It's 16,000 rounds a minute, and it's like this weird, steady roar. And we'd always wanted to get Bert some big weapons, so we thought it'd be great to give him this minigun and then turn it around by having him burn through all the ammunition in a minute and a half. Which you can tell in the Tremors 5 where that scene would have ended up, and that would have been cool. Would have been cool, guys. Like like they took things, but they didn't take any of the cool things. They took all the half-assed things. But the story turns. Unfortunately, while we were writing for Part 5, Tremors 4 did not perform as well as the earlier sequels, and the bottom had also fallen out of the DVD market. Large outlets like Walmart weren't going to carry films that weren't studio pictures and didn't have advertising behind them. And while the studio did a considerable amount of advertising for Tremors 2, they even sent me and Michael on a little jaunt around the country to promote it. By 3 and 4, they discovered this magical thing they really loved. No advertising whatsoever. So they ultimately said, nope, we're going to shelve it. The 5th. Like, we're going to shelve Tremors 5. And you're sitting here like, if they shelved it, why did I just watch Tremors 7? The wheel turns. So we did 7 drafts of the first one. And somewhere in drafts 4 through 6, it got too funny. Our goal has always been to always make it as real as possible, because if you've got something as strange as graboids in the film, the people had better be believable. And those drafts had jokes that were at the expense of the characters and at the expense of the monsters. We want the comedy to be funny, because it involves something someone would really do or say, and the audience can feel that. So, with Tremors, by the 7th draft, it had become what you see, this delicate balance between comedy and horror. And when I reread Tremors 5, I was a little surprised at how much wasn't included. The thinking of the studio at the time was that we might need to look to hand the franchise off and start over with new characters like Star Trek The Next Generation. The idea was that Chad Morgan would grow as a character and potentially move into that leading role, Jamie Kennedy, British role for the next movie. But that isn't indicated at all in what we'd written. The other character that's not served well is Margaret. There are moments to be played with Bert, but the script really only has that one at the beginning when they take the tour of the ranch. But that's it. We just needed to fix that, get her in earlier, and figure out how to get her back into the story before she literally falls out of the ceiling near the end. Because as it reads now, when Bert gives her up at the end, that doesn't really play. So, like, these guys know what's up. Like, they're even, like, critiquing their own shit. Imagine, like, going over and over and over and over and over again for, like, 15 fucking years on, like, one script. Like, I can hear Steve as being, like, hyper harsh on himself, but also, like, God damn, man, like, you're drafting. Fucking A, man. Like, and also if they're going to say, oh, no, we're not going to give you money. Like, you can keep doing this, but you're having to do all this extra time. Oh, no, like, screw you. Yeah, like the whole Aboriginal African thing that ends up happening. There's a character Hako Garamari, we'd done enough cursory research to hopefully get those keynote moments right, like the fact that Hako is the caretaker of the region. Had we gone ahead, we would have been all over people to make sure we got it as right as we can. Upon a revisiting, there's way too much action. Unless you had $100 million, you couldn't shoot everything in that script. Like, okay, again, like, knowing what they're doing and knowing where it's wrong, and like, can we do something? We usually get inventive with the action and put them all in drafts of 2 and 3. And those drafts are too long. They're 120, 130 pages long. We then sit down with our team. We ask people we trust to read it. And if they say things like, I was kind of bored by the time Bert shot the 100th graboid, we cut the number of graboids he shoots. If they say an action scene's a little unbelievable, we throw it out. If we have 2 action scenes and one of them has Chad using his talents with cars and he's not doing anything in the other one, that one gets thrown out and the one where he fixes the car at the last minute stays in. So that's the process. It's part budget, part opinion, and then what works best for the character while still moving the story forward. I was also dismayed to see there's a couple of complete logic gaps that we would never allow in a finished film. The radio that Bert uses to call Nigel is the same one Nigel has later on when that's used to call the Air Force, which doesn't make sense. And we only have a synopsis of this. Steve cannot release the original script unless somebody else releases it. Wink. But God, it being hypercritical like that. Give the goddamn movie to these people. Like, they would have fucking figured it out, man. They'd already figured it out enough times. Give them that. Give them something. Give them something. This is, and I got great notes for this. And so then there was a never-ending interest from the fans. I became something of a de facto frequently asked question answerer. I lost track of the number of times I had to write, I'm sorry, but there'll never be a Tremors 5. Starting in fucking October of 2006, I had to write this down. The fucking questions are asked. And Steve will post the questions that he hasn't gotten a repeat of, or haven't been asked in a while. So I have to wonder how many people are asking the question that he's just sending emails to and just giving them curt answers, like, "Hey, no," and then he'll actually post some of those questions elsewhere. 2006. Jesus fucking Christ, people! Like, that's sick. Come on, where's my math? That's 12 years. That's 12 years, people. No, come on. That's 16 years. That's 16 years. And he's still answering questions to date. You can go on to Stampede Entertainment's fact site, frequently asked questions, and still ask the questions today. In fact, if you want to get a hold of Steve, that's one of the best ways. If you want to get a hold of Stampede, learn anything, that's one of the best ways. Go ahead and ask a question, and then make sure you look through and the question hasn't been asked before, but really just send it out there. Or if hey, I love you, send that to Stampede too. They always love to hear that. That's a long fucking time, man. 16 years of just answering questions over and over and over again, and keeping up that Stampede Entertainment site going. There's a whole bunch of, there's some great fucking behind the scenes shit on there, and even some old websites. I love those 90s weird ass Angel Fire black background websites. Talk about nostalgia. What? But yeah, man. Tremors 5, and I love there's it's the irony of the way that you get a question and Steve is just honestly answering. Someone asking, Tremors 5, by now, and this is in the year 2006, you all know the likely answer. Not likely. I keep making grunting noises. I gotta keep drinking something. And it's just, because I'm just so, that's, by now, 2006, you all know the likely answer to whether or not there'll be a Tremors 5. Not likely. Oh, man. That's 16 years. And then, so then it's not until like 2015. So he's answering and asking like that. That's going back for like 10 years. Like he's writing, as I said, writing all those drafts and shit, answering those questions. Like that's a long fucking time for something that's not necessarily giving anything back to you, and you're having to work extra hard on. Like you're like, sure, you have the residuals from the previous movies and stuff, but the one that you're currently trying to make and you're spending all your time on is not fucking panning out. Oh, that would hurt. That would hurt while you're answering questions to fans. March of 2009. Tremors 5 is done. Tremors 5 is just done. There's no, like, that was Steve. Nope, it's done. It's over with. That's 2009. And even late, well, okay, that's March 2009, all right? Tremors 5 is done. Then in October of 2009, may it not be completely dead, and if it is 2019 as you read this, and there still has been no Tremors 5, the answer is yes, but it's dead again. So, like having the knowledge of retrospect is fucking killing me with these, man, because if it's 2019 and there's no Tremors 5, then it's 2019 and there's not only a Tremors 5, there's a fucking Tremors 6 and 7. It's 2022, and there's that and a TV show that you were kind of pushed out of too. Yeah, like, and oh my god, it's fucking crazy too. Go and check out all the fans and every single idea that they have. There's everything from like, could you convert it into 3D? Could you have a conversion process and redo the CGI? Nope, need license. Could you make a comic? Could you make an animated thing? Could you do a spin-off of it that looks like Tremors but isn't actually Tremors? Nope, not even. If we even get close, we're fucked. Kickstarter. If we began to raise money for something like Tremors related, we would again be fucked. All of it, just over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it fucking kills me, because I can tell other people are doing the same thing that I was doing without the success, and like, oh my god, why is this happening? Oh, because we're all supporting it and we don't really know it. In the age before the super internet, where we're actually finding things out and having our information, like, oh no, people just took, giant studios at their word, which, I mean, yikes. And as it goes through, so then you actually get, no, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. I gotta keep moving. Okay, so all this question and answering, Steve and Brent are writing and rewriting Tremors 5 over and over again. My wife's family was living in Chicago, and I was determined to live in the Southwest so we could periodically drive cross-country. We were on the way back from Chicago and got a call on the road from Nancy Roberts, who was still heading up Stampede. She said, "You won't believe it! Tremors 5 is happening! They want to make it!" We got very excited. Nancy was going to get the information so we could hit the ground running. Nancy asked whether they wanted Brent or I to direct, and they told her neither of us were going to direct or even be remotely involved in the film. We were floored. It didn't make creative sense, and it didn't make financial sense. The story they gave us at the time was that they needed a team that did low-budget movies. The sequels we made were all low-budget films. That clearly wasn't the real reason, and we were never able to find out what that real reason was. However, we did have a right of first refusal clause built into our contracts that had just lapsed. A clause which meant that they would have had to offer the sequel to us, and if we said no, then they could take it to someone else. But we never got any real information about what really happened that led to that. And that's in 2014, October 2014. So you're going from October 2006 to October 2014. That's 8 years of writing and trying to pitch other movies too while still writing Tremors, because somebody at Universal said that, yeah, we want more Tremors. and then, oh, your right of the right of first refusal clause expired. Oh, well, we decided to just now make a Tremors 8 years later. Oh, but we're sorry, we didn't want you at all because you don't know how to make low budget films, even though we continually slashed your budget until it was practically nothing. And still managed to. That's why I love Tremors 4. All the practical effects, with the CGI used David Fincher style to edit, make things a little smoother. But yeah, all that practical effects with barely any budget, even less budget. Fucking amazing. And then so then Tremors 5 obviously happened. Again, I hope you've watched it or not watched it. Please don't watch it. Listen to my commentary instead. You'll thank me. And Steve actually got invited back to Universal. And he watched it before. I went back to Universal and watched Tremors 5 before it was released. I couldn't have been more horrified. By halfway through, it was clear that it wasn't anything we would want to do. I kept hoping it would get better, but it just got steadily worse. There was a whole list of things that I felt were wrong with it. It's got some of the worst monster movie cliches, the types of things that we'd laugh at as kids. There were terrible homages to Jurassic Park. It's quite a long list. And yeah, if you listen to my commentary for it, it's quite a fucking long list, man. That's why I love that the Tremors saga people named it Tremors 5, the Chronicles of Bloodlines in Jurassic Rim, because it's Riddick and Jurassic Park and Pacific Rim and probably a bunch of other movies that I was really not trying to pay attention to fucking dissecting about. I would rather watch those movies than Tremors 5. But that's the whole, when we were making the sequels, someone at the studio said, "You guys don't know what's happening. VHS, man, VHS." I could sell an empty box so long as it was called Tremors. At the time, I thought it was a compliment. Now I see they weren't kidding. Yeah, like Steve saying that his own self. Just ouch. This is where I don't like doing this one because there's so many bad things that end up happening here. Nancy called us out of the blue again and said, "You're not going to believe this. Kevin's finally thinking about returning to the character of Val. They want you to come back and talk about this new series idea that he has." Then we, called back to set up a time, and they said, oh, we're sorry. There seems to have been some sort of mistake. No one here wants to talk to you in any shape or way or form and never will. It was classic Hollywood. Classic bad Hollywood. There's a lot of good Hollywood, too, and Brent and I have experienced a lot of that, but this was not fun. Fuck. Yeah, and I'm going to keep going just so I can end this, move on a little bit. Brent and I have had a really good run in the business, and sure, some people would argue we shouldn't have kept doing Tremors, that we should have kept our hands in other bigger movies. There's the argument that we burnt bridges that we shouldn't have because we were so busy with the Tremors series. When we did Tremors 2 sequels, sequels were still looked down upon. Our agent begged us not to do Short Circuit 2, saying only hacks do sequels. But that's completely changed now. Look how many Star Wars films there are, for instance, and we love directing. We love that world. None of the other things we've written have come close to the kind of satisfaction we had on those films. Batteries Not Included is fun. Heart and Souls is one of our favorite movies. Our first big sale, Short Circuit, ended up being sillier than we wanted it to be. But Tremors 1, 2, 3, and 4 all came very close to what we were shooting for. They were so much fun to make, and were so gratifying in many ways. Steve, if you're listening, man, I love you. Tell Brent I love you, and Nancy and Ron. Please don't kill yourselves because you don't think that there's anything good left in the world. Because I wouldn't blame you. Shit, man. I was listening to Brent at the Q&A panel. Just that's why I want to hear him fucking eviscerate things. Just damn, man, you're mad, you're fucking pissed, and you have every right to be. I love the and this is why Steve and Brent are a great writing pair. Steve being that, cool, very calm, collective sci-fi nerd, and Brent being that very passionate, like, French film lover. It was like, I have fucking emotion, and I'm gonna express it, man. Like, I don't care. Yeah, good people. So, I got my plans here for what I'm trying to do, but it's also like there's so many things I could pick off. Like, what the fuck's happening? I could talk about merch, because that's a huge part of what the fuck just fucking happened. Like, I know you're just sitting there wondering, just like, wow, are you kidding me? That's like it. That like they did all that, and now they gotta just walk away. Not exactly, folks. Not exactly. Because I will talk about it. There's a big thing to be said here about why they did this. And they have the TV show going. I'm going to sit back and get comfortable because this is my deep fucking value DFV GameStop seeing bullshit. It's the merchandise. All right, you can as I've talked about. You can see so many people on the Stampede site, on Facebook, on Twitter, on wherever the fuck, YouTube people, holy shit, YouTube people, just want Tremor stuff. They don't really give a shit. They just want it, and they want it now. And I mean a lot. And I don't mean like, and I've had to ask myself this, where it's like, is this like an echo chamber? Am I just focusing on this and not seeing a larger picture? And I've looked back and looked at other different franchises and stuff, and nothing. The only thing that comes close, and this is, I learned something really spooky about this, that the biggest money makers for Universal are the Chucky series and Tremors. And this is like, before I found that out, one of the things that I found was like the biggest moneymaker because of that licensing rights is Chucky. Like, oh yeah, you can make weird, creepy merch and stuff, and everybody likes that concept of cute but scary. It fucking sells. It sells with kids and it sells with adults. It sells with kids that are adults and adults that are kids. Everybody buys it. And Tremors has that in spades, where it's, yeah, graboids look, shriekers especially. Shriekers are so cute. I want a little plush shrieker. Like, that's mine. Oh, it's so, like, just have it on my desk, and I use it like a little stress ball, where you're like, hey, little shrieker guy, and you squeeze it, and imagine it's like infrared thing opens, and its mouth opens. Oh my god, if you squeezed it, and it went, Rah! Like, oh, that's just an idea. I just made that up right now. Actually, oh my god, I did. I haven't even read anything like that, but I want that, man. I want a plush shrieker, or, my number one is an ass blaster lighter. They have one in the TV show. And that's fucking cool. How many Statue of Liberty lighters do they sell in New York? And every fucking person on the planet, not every person, because everybody's got different tastes, but if there's 8 billion people, 7 billion of them love Tremors. And you know what? 5 billion of them would buy an ass blaster light. At least all the fucking stoners, or the people who smoke cigarettes, would be fucking awesome. And then another one, and this, you'd see this one in every kitchen. I know you fucking would. A graboid oven mitt. Oh man, if that was a regular license piece, graboid tentacle oven mitt, boom, sell like hot kickity cakes. There are plenty of people on Etsy and Redbubble and sometimes eBay that are selling the stuff that they made. There's a dude fucking creating a 3D printed, full-sized Tremors 2 Aftershocks mountable wall graboid. Like, 3D printing it. He's been working on that thing for like 6 months now. Holy shit, now that I think about it. And that's not Zoran Gavojcik. If you watch the Tremors kill counts with dead meat, he's got a shrieker on the wall. Like, that head of that shrieker is amazing. I don't know who made that for him, but I love it. I fucking love it, man. It just looks cool. And what horror fan wouldn't love that on the rock? Because it's hard to have a monster that recognizable. It's what I hate about what they did with Tremors 5 through 7 with the redesign, especially with the Ass Blaster, where it's like you made that creature not look like what it originally did anymore. It doesn't look like a Graboid, Shrieker, or Ass Blaster like normally does, and I mean that in the sense that mandible, that jaw, that 4-part mandible that Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff really came up with, that whatever they based it off in nature is just that will transcend time. Like, they may have tried to redesign it, but that design will always come back around because you're just like, that's fucking Tremors, man. Whenever I see that weird-ass Rule 34 stuff, I'm like, man, that's terrifying, but they got the beak right, and it looks like a fucking Graboid or Shrieker and Ass Blaster that's sucking its own dick. But, I mean, Graboids are asexual, but it's fine, man. We're moving on. But even that, so then you have all the weird-ass Rule 34 people, which is like the biggest subsection of the Tremors people. Like, the Burt Gummer fans think that they have the market cornered on that. Oh man, I have seen enough of those weird perverty porn people. Like, again, that's no dish shame. It's more like, holy shit. And just that, I mean, fucking hundreds of thousands. The Burt Gummer people, maybe you only have Americans. Like, that's really what it, and maybe a few of the weird-ass international people, but that's more of an American obsession because of the whole gun wall and stuff. But the grab heads definitely outnumber the Burt Gummer stands, which I am always, because they create more. They make more stuff than the Burt Gummer people do, so they can fuck off. Except for Baby Fark. Baby Fark is the only good Burt Gummer stand because he actually gets the point of the character. It's not about guns. It's about survival. Remember, life and survival starts here. Who's hungry? Fuck. Like I said, I love that opening of Tremors 5. Like, it's the only good part of that movie. Because I'm pretty sure Michael Gross wrote it. Hey, Herbie. Hey, buddy. Yeah, look, I have a cat. Hey, Herbie. Yes, do you want to watch Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under? Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm going to set you down right here, buddy. Okay. Yeah, man, just, all that merch, all that stuff, and then, so that's the merch, all right, and I was just naming some weird things, and then there's plenty of t-shirts. It's insane to me that they don't just constantly do a run on Atlanta Hawks hats. Because that shit would sell like hotcakes. I wanted an Atlanta Hawks hat, and I would like to not pay $100 for it. If we can bring that down to like 50 or 25, I'm in, man. That's the merch. Then the other side of that, and this is S.S. Wilson, video games. And he has some great short stories himself about playing video games, so he knows all about this aspect. And how much, along with the merch, it's a huge money maker. Look at Star Wars. Merchandise is always the biggest thing. A wildly successful Tremors video game, an idea which we've always wanted to work on, would make Universal a fortune. Not us. So they've had the idea for a Tremors game since Tremors 2. Like, and if you watch Tremors 2, this is only something I've gotten learning more and more about this. Earl is clearly a fucking an idea amalgamation of what I should have got is a lawyer is Brent and Steve. Honestly, it almost sounds like Brent even more. Just like. What I should have got is a percentage. No, yeah, great. Well, what, didn't you get like a percentage? Like, no, man. Like, they just took all my money. I'm gonna invest it conservatively. Like, I can tell you guys got fucked over. You feel like it, and you just wrote that in there. Yeah, we could have had a Tremors video game by now, but they didn't have a lawyer. And fuck, man. I don't mean to swear so much. I will try to tone it down more, but it's just really fucking pissing me off. I honestly don't think any children are going to listen to this, hopefully. If you're above the age of, like, 12, you probably heard worse. So there's a video game, and you can find a bunch of video games online. They already did a couple. Stampede did themselves. Dirt Dragons. There's another Shrieker game. The Shrieker game's like almost disappeared. I cannot find that one anywhere. And there's that one. There's a game on Newgrounds. Just a bunch of worm games. There's a great one. I always love shouting this out. LoJack on Twitch is doing a Tremors Call of Duty mod. He's been doing that since like September. Getting huge hits on that. Everybody's always asking for a game. It's like one of the biggest things people want. And there's a guy that put out a Tremors 2 Starship Troopers mod that's got, both the arachnids and shriekers in it. It's a first-person shooter. So there's all these ideas and shit for games and stuff that aren't happening. Everybody's got it ready to made. Oh, there's another one I gotta... they keep trying to hide it, that they're not doing a Tremors themed game, because I can tell that they've asked and been told no. And so they're trying to work their way around it. I gotta find that. I'll make sure the Tremors Saga people put that up. Hi, buddy. I love you too. Herbie wants a video game. Yes, he does. Yeah, so a freaking video game. Where's our merch? Why are you doing this? Oh, wait, we're going to kick you out. So, Steve has been answering questions like that, like I said, from that 2006, timeline. Yes, buddy. I love you. My cat's in here. If you're listening on podcast, he just needs some loving. I thought I shut the door, but alas, that's what happens. Been working on this, making this happen. Could we make more money off of it? And I've seen plenty of other people who they talked and asked to Universal, and it's always a huge no, like a big no way, man. Like, not even. So to do that all while Tremors 5 is happening, or not happening. Which I guess, in a way, because there's, again, the merch thing I want to do with the TV show. Like, there's all these different parts of it that I will expand in merch when we get to the TV show, because Mixmaster has a huge portion to do with it. It's why I can tell that they greenlit the series and made it happen. And once they knew that they had that idea for a couple of episodes, they didn't want to, pay them anymore, and we're like, oh, we can get rid of you, and you guys will probably die soon, so then we can have Mixmaster, and then they can make any kind of merch, animal that they want. The highest grossing franchise of all time is Pokemon. And why is that? Because you can create 85 billion types of Pokemon, and you can sell every single one in a different variation on this and that, and when it's cute and scary, it sells like hotcakes. And that's what we got with Tremors, and you got that with Mixmaster. Boom, we could have made any single monster that you wanted. Hand over fist, boom, boom, boom. And there's that whole game tie-in. Then, okay, well, shit, man, if that's what's happening, especially if you're already globe-trotting and stuff, we can go all over the world and do all this. All this stuff is already set up for a game. All of it for it happened. All of the merch, all right there, all ready to go. But Universal's just like, no, we don't want to make any money, but we also want to make the most money possible. So yeah, we're not going to give you any money to make money. But we expect a return on this lack of money we gave you. So thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Looking up children. Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing, Mr. Mackey. Doesn't, all right, dude. But I want to start reading, the actual Tremors 5 script. Because there's some things that I got to get into. You're just going to be like, the fuckity fuck is happening? Because you're about to find out that they basically took 75% of Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under, and just reused it for Tremors 5 Bloodlines. I mean, it's fucking insane. All right, here we go. Here we go, folks. Tremors 5, Gummer Down Under. I'm doing Steve's voice because he wrote this synopsis. The script opens with a flashback to Australia, 300 years ago, where we reveal that Aboriginal people had actually developed a technique for hunting graboids. We also see that they were doing stylized rock art paintings of the graboids. The script then jumps to present day. 2 men working in the remote outback have a deadly encounter with an ass blaster. 1 man is killed, the other, Petite, barely escapes. Sound familiar? Literally the fucking opening of Tremors 5? Except for that opening with the Aboriginal people. That shit's dope. Naturally, Australian government representatives decide to hire Burt Gummer to help. They make it very clear in the call that they want to capture the AB alive. Burt is, of course, dubious of that idea, but as he's struggling with the downturn in customers at Gummer's shooting range, he accepts the job. He arrives in Australia, and in his usual style, starts telling the locals everything they are doing wrong. A typical testy Burt comeback, "Luck is for the unprepared." And he's quite angry when the government representatives, Kelso and Dawson, joined by Petite, reveal they provided only 2 old guns for the mission, not the arsenal he had requested. They explain they had no choice due to Australia's strict gun laws. Petite, in particular, takes offense at Bert's abrasive style, grumbling, "You sure we need this jumped-up wowza?" Though he is low on guns, we do give Bert some fun new high-tech gear, at least for 2004. He has a satellite-based seismic scanner that allows him to reliably track graboids over a huge area. He's brought custom Mylar umbrellas to get under and hide body heat from shriekers or ABs, a pocket periscope, super hot magnesium flares to blind ABs. And next page, hold on. And chemical heat packs to heat up bait. He even has an experimental ass blaster tracking device. Once, at the isolated sheep ranch near where the AB was spotted, Bert meets lovely ranch owner Margaret Campbell. Yes, we give Bert a love interest in this outing. For Bert, her remote place is perfect. Excellent terrain. In terms of personal security, clear line of sight, almost 360. Rock formations allowing multiple defensive positions, and, of course, sheer isolation offers significant primary protection. Margaret is amused. Never seemed that quite romantic to me. Also on hand is 17-year-old Chad Mason, Margaret's nephew. A bit of a punker, unhappy to have been drafted into working the ranch as penance for getting arrested in Sydney. Chad is ungrateful, annoying, pushy, and constantly complaining. "You gotta be one daggy bastard to live out here!" Oh, wow, that was almost racist. Yes, an Aussie, Melvin. On first meeting Bert, his derisive comment is, "He must be the monster hunter. Love the costume." But over the course of the script, facing monsters firsthand, Chad grows as a character, gets more respectful, and becomes a real asset with his mechanical skills. We also meet Nigel, a traveling salesman who plies the outback in a jam-packed rattle-trap Land Rover, selling all sorts of odds and ends, and also making deliveries to isolated towns and ranches. He obviously has a thing for Margaret, but she doesn't seem to notice. Meanwhile, Chad fixes up a junker car on the ranch and takes off, much to Margaret's alarm. Bert and the other men set out to hunt the AB, carrying a large cage into which they put heated bait to attract it. But they've gone only a short distance when the ass blaster attacks them out of the blue. Dawson is killed horribly and carried off by the AB. But Bert and the remaining men agree they must press on. They find Dawson's remains, now being finished off by carrion-eating whistling kites. Next, they are joined by an Aboriginal man, Hako Garamara, driving an old Jeep. Surprise, with him is Chad, whose junker broke down and whom Hako saved from dying of thirst. Hako, learning what Bert and his team are hunting, asks to stay with them, concerned that there may really be a Goomblagari nearby. He'd prefer to be near people with guns. He explains the term as an Aborigine name for a supposedly mythical bird of ill omen. Hako is fascinated by Bert's explanation of the graboid life cycle, in which Bert refers to Rhonda LeBeck's ongoing research. Hako tells Bert of more ancient Aboriginal names he now thinks might refer to the same creatures. A graboid could be an akura. And of course, cave drawings he'd seen that seemed to resemble them. As a tribe, Dujikankai, caretaker, of the region, he wonders if what he thought were imaginary monsters of legend were actually real. Suddenly, to Bert's surprise, the AB attacks again. This is totally unexpected, because it should be in a food coma after gorging itself on the first government man, Dawson. Bert is also frustrated to realize that his AB tracking device is easily confused by other heat-emitting things in the vicinity. Cars, Margaret's thousands of sheep, etc. The AB acts even more strangely, targeting Petite instead of potential victims who are closer. Petite is mercilessly slaughtered. Bert is about to shoot the AB over Kelso's frantic objections, but before he can pull the trigger, the creature just mysteriously drops dead right in front of him. Bert is baffled. The creature's behavior is contrary to everything he knows about ABs. He, Chad, Hako, and Kelso search for clues. Finally, they discover the reason the AB attacked Petite first. He was near its nest, complete with a fresh graboid egg. The egg is laid in an area of the famous Australian geothermically heated hot, dry rocks. It's the first active AB nest ever found. But the next twist has nothing to do with the monsters. Kelso reveals he's not with the government at all. He and his men are actually poachers. In fact, they've never told anyone else about the first AB sighting. And we're hoping to use Bert to snag a super rare AB to sell on the black market. This also explains why the guns they provided were so substandard. With the AB dead, Kelso's quest is now pointless. So, not wanting to be outed to authorities, he shoots out the tires of Hako's Jeep and takes off in their vehicle, abandoning Bert, Chad, and Hako. With no other choice, the trio follows slowly on foot, hoping to reach more traveled roads and flag someone down. But another surprise awaits. In only a few miles, they spot their own vehicle. Stopped in the distance, as they creep towards it, they see it's insanely dented and smashed, yet doesn't seem to have rolled over. Chad quickly sizes up the damage and grimly notes the steering gear is wrecked. Meanwhile, Bert nervously checks and rechecks his graboid sensor. Nothing! No graboids anywhere. Chad asks, All right. The other thing is, between a graboid and ABs. But Bert knows it couldn't have been shriekers. They'd leave tracks everywhere, and ABs would leave burn marks. Poor Bert can't believe he's once again in a situation where he has no idea what's going on. All his planning is failing him yet again. He moans, I came here willingly, knowingly. Why do I do it? Kelso suddenly appears. He's been hiding nearby. Already badly wounded, he's screaming, They're coming back! Bert checks his graboid sensor yet again. Nothing on it. What is coming back? Now we reveal that what attacked the car were mini graboids. The newborn graboids first seen in Tremors 4. They are too small to register on Bert's sensor. They attack from all sides, flying out of the ground like crazed mini killer whales. Kelso is a goner. By frantically dodging and ducking and working together along with a few expert shots by Bert, the group manages to kill this initial group of only a few mini graboids. Next, using the short-range radio in the wrecked vehicle, they are able to raise someone. Nigel, the traveling salesman. He suggests a rendezvous point Hako knows, so they head out to meet up with him. But when they arrive, Nigel and his Land Rover are under attack by more mini graboids. Skipping over a lot of detail, rather complex action in the script, they manage to save him. Good news! Though his rover is damaged, Nigel has a proper radio. Much relieved, Bert is able to contact the Royal Australian Air Force. Once they realize who he is, Bert's fame is widespread after all. They dispatch a heavily armed Sea Sprite chopper to the rescue. But things still don't go right for Bert. As the chopper is landing, he urgently tries to explain the danger they're in, begging them to use their FLIR imager to check the ground while landing. But before he gets them to understand, mini graboids erupt and slam into the helicopter, causing it to crash, killing the crew. Bert, Chad, Hako, and Nigel are horrified and stranded again, and surrounded by mini graboids. Worse, the lame rifle the poachers gave Bert is now out of ammo. Up to now, he'd been conserving, carefully picking his shots. But he comes up with yet another plan, taking cover on rocks to foursome plays deadly cat and mouse with the mini-Gs, taking turns, making noise to attract them so that others can move. Eventually, the tactic lets Bert reach the crash chapter. Using its air-to-ground missiles, he makes a homemade super bomb. A Game Boy from Nigel's stock of items, blaring the Super Mario theme. Okay, remember, we wrote this in 2004. Is used as a noisemaker. Bert attracts the mini-Gs to his bomb and blows them up in a giant blast. But even more are coming. Must have been a lot of ass blasters laying eggs in this remote country. As Chad works frantically to repair Nigel's Land Rover, Bert and Hako return to the chopper, detach its 6-barreled minigun, lug it over, and lash it to the roof of the vehicle. The group takes off in the car, Bert blasting pursuing mini-Gs in midair whenever they leap up in pursuit. Chad, Hako, and Nigel are loving it. Sure, they are now home free. Bert is annoyed to have to explain that even though he has 10,000 rounds of ammo for the minigun, it's not much. People, please! At 6,000 rounds per minute, I have less than 1.5 minutes of firing time. Do you copy? He does quickly run out, but by then they've got a good lead on the mini-Gs. They reach a small mining town, but find it's already been attacked by mini-Gs. People have fled or are dead. Worse, the beat-up Land Rover finally dies. Our team frantically searches for anything that may help them. Amazingly, they find Margaret hiding in an attic, having gone to the town earlier looking for Chad after he ran away. During the search, Hako is also startled to discover an ancient rock painting. With what he's learned in his adventure with Bert, he can see that it depicts a graboid hunt, the one we saw in the opening scene. With no other vehicles available, they make a last stand in the abandoned town. Because the miners had equipment reading data from local seismic sensors, Bert is able to finally track the approaching mini-Gs. They urgently come up with a plan. One part of the group cobbles together a huge noisemaker of pots, pans, etc. to lure the mini-Gs to leap into a large concrete-lined rain catch basin. Bert and Chad jerry-rig a pump to pull diesel fuel from the town's supply tank to the basin. While working, the team communicates via kids' walkie-talkies from Nigel's seemingly endless supply of sales items. Per the plan, the mini-Gs are attracted to the oversized noisemaker and leap into the basin like crazed dolphins. The diesel fuel is unleashed, and the whole thing is set ablaze by throwing in flaming boomerangs from Nigel's stash. Of course. The conflagration is amazingly huge. Chad, man, that's one bonza river Barbie. Bert, thank God for our dependence on fossil fuels. But our hero still can't catch a break. Bert's graboid sensor, silent for the whole movie, finally gets a signal. A gigantic Aussie adult graboid is approaching, larger and very different looking than the U.S. species. It is fearsome indeed. The group thinks desperately. Bert is almost ready to throw in the towel. You haven't done this as many times as I have. If you think you're safe, they smash through the wall. If you think they're big, they're small. If you think they're small, they fly again. If you think they fly, they're small again. But Hako steps up to propose. They use an ancient rock painting as a guide. He's sure it depicts a successful graboid hunt. Bert is dubious. We got no firearms, no ammo, no transportation, no explosives, now no flammables. But, working together in classic Tremors style, the team comes up with one more last-ditch battle plan. Without going into all the steps, they basically lure the graboid up onto a large, sloping, flat rock. Nigel acts as bait, blowing a rugby fan horn. With the graboid momentarily beached, they manage to crush the monster by toppling a huge telephone pole onto it. Margaret, best with an axe, is the one who weakens the pole earlier. My dad used to say I used to fell trees in Tasmania. With the giant graboid defeated and the team finally safe, we dissolve to our ending scene. Back at Margaret's sheep station, a reformed Chad fixes up Hako's Jeep and doesn't try to run away in it. The news media descend. Bert, who has realized that Nigel has always loved Margaret, does the noble thing and tells them it was Nigel who came up with the plan for defeating the Graboid. As reporters surround Margaret and new hero Nigel, Bert and Hako quietly slip into Hako's Jeep and head into the vast outback. Oh, man. God, I really do fucking love reading their shit because it's so much better than what it was. Wasn't it? Hey, Steve, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I couldn't help. I just keep doing impressions of you because I really love you, listening to you. I can hear you in my brain a bit too much. It's fine. I'll deal with it later. Yeah. Booyah, right? Make your own opinions about what you just read or heard me read. That's for you to decide. Me, I'm gonna fucking show you how they just took everything. Alrighty. So first thing first, the rock painting. They may not have done the opener, but the rock painting in the caves, that is clearly done at the beginning of Tremors 5. And then later on, too, where we see Jamie Kennedy go into the same cave, and there's paintings of them fighting graboids and shit. Like I said, fully expected a talking shrieker at that point, because shit's just that fucking ridiculous. So there's one, rock painting. Two, literally the two guys opener, where one guy gets attacked, and then that's what makes them want to send in people to call in Bert. Literally the same thing that happens. They just change the names. That is it. Gummer's shooting range and Bert Gummer's survival school, same thing. Having Bert have a whole vocation, and then that's tail offing and not doing so well anymore. Okay, that's the same thing. You have the poacher guy. Oh, he's a disguised poacher, actually coming up and pretending to be a part of the the South African Wildlife Ministry. Wink, wink. Australia, Africa. Same fucking guy. Kelso, Van Wyck, whatever. He changed the name. I know what you're doing. The guns. There's only a couple of guns. And I talked about it in the Tremors 5. It makes no sense in that one where you're just Bert didn't realize there were no customs laws. But they said they were going to get him guns in this one. And that's why they didn't get him, was they didn't want him to actually kill him in the first place. So there's a sense of, that's why Bert didn't have guns. So the bad guys actually fucked him over. Instead of this where it's oh no, Bert just didn't know about actual customs laws that he probably should know about. Dumb. There's even a line that Johan Drea and the petite other guy that it almost feels like it's just reworded. Are you sure we need this jumped up wowzer? Are you sure we need this jumped up safari jockey? That's what he says in Bloodlines, and then in this, are you sure we need the jumped up wowzer, jumped up safari jockey, jumped up wowzer? Okay, I know what fucking line you're taking. A bunch of Bert's stuff that he uses. The satellite seismo. That's in Tremors 5 Bloodlines. The Mylar ponchos, which is from the TV series, which is okay. So the TV series does or doesn't exist because you keep fucking talking about it or you're using shit from it. The Mylar ponchos, magnesium flares. That's in Tremors 5. Totally used that. And the heat pack bait. That's in Tremors 5. That's in Bloodlines 2. I'm going to call them Bloodlines and cover down under. That's in Bloodlines 2. So there's some more that they took. Let's just take that and put it in our script. I know that Universal owns it and bought it or whatever, but that's just terrible to have them work on that for that long and just, fuck you. Chad Morgan and Travis Welker, it's not that he's Bert's son, but the whole mechanical kind of younger dude being sort of trashy and asshole. Okay, are we talking about Jamie Kennedy right now, or are we talking about Chad Morgan? Because it is the same in spirit. The Nigel Margaret thing, Nigel being into Margaret and not expressing it, is also what happens with Nani and Baruti. Same thing with those two, just changed who they were basically. And it's not Bert going after him; it's Travis instead. Which I'm just God damn, I would have loved to have seen Bert have a little bit of romance in that, but I guess not. The Impundulu and the Inkanyambe in Bloodlines is the fucking same thing as the Goomblingari and the Akura in Tremors in Gummer Down Under. Impundulu, Goomblingari, Akura, Inkanyambe. Like, there's almost, it's not exactly, but you can hear the sounds that they were trying to similarly make. The Ass Blaster Nest, that is a huge plot point. That is the whole, like, why is this all happening? Why are Ass Blasters doing what they're doing? Why are we even here in this country? Oh, it's this Ass Blaster Nest, this one that's actually happening. That's straight up from Gummer Down Under. Then, yeah, the Van Wyck and the Kelso guy are the same. The John Hammond poacher that's pretending to be a wildlife ministry official is really a bad guy. Who would have guessed that coming? Well, I mean, it honestly works. It works better in that because there's a couple of guys at least, so you can buy that. Well, okay, one guy is creepy, 2, 3 is maybe there's something to this. But they also literally meet the same fate. They die the same way, except for instead of tentacles, it's mini G's, and it makes a lot more sense because they're jumping in and out of the ground, which they did in Tremors 4. That's what makes them fucking scary when they go for Big Horse and they're pum, pum, pum. And just every time I read the Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under script, I'm always like, God, that would have been so cool. Just wah, swah, swah, wah. Like, you're just trying to run and now jump that. Like, it's absolutely terrifying. It's a different threat than a Graboid, a Shrieker, or an Ass Blaster while still staying true to everything that they're doing. Would have been cool. Why don't you just CGI that instead of your fucking tentacles? But he dies the same way. Literally, the Jeep getting crashed. If you watch the Bloodlines, the Jeep getting crashed. He runs out. He's got the egg. The fucking Graboid ends up eating him. Well, not Graboid. Obviously the little mini Gs. Because that makes sense. Because why would a Graboid jump out of the ground? It's so fucking big. The only reason you buy that with the mini Gs is they're tiny. You're like, oh yeah, they maybe, but with a big, like, fucking 30-ton creature, it's jumping out like a dolphin out of fucking sand. It already had a hard enough time believing that it's going through sand that fast. The character of Nigel totally got combined with the bush pilot dude, like his responsibilities with the coming back and saving Bert, being there, always being around, the Deus Ex Machina guy, and then even the way that the sea sprite in Gummer Down Under is supposed to come down and save them, but then gets attacked by mini Gs, and it's so much better than that than it is in Bloodline, which is like, oh, he just kind of comes down and then waits for it to happen. Whereas at least with the Gummer Down Under, you can imagine that, oh no, they're just coming down, attacking them and actually destroying the helicopter. So that way you have a reason. You could just try to fly out of there. But they do still end up using, they take off the missiles, and they don't take them off in Bloodlines, but they use the missiles to blow up the cave, which Alison Pregler, I love, pointed out, like, oh yeah, it's so convenient that the helicopter landed exactly where it needed to, so it was a straight shot into that cave. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, universe. Because that would fucking happen. No, thank you. Perfect. Use that. Then there's the chase afterwards. Travis and Bert are arguing back and forth, and Travis says that big gun. It's not a minigun, but it's very clear. Oh, that's your minigun chase, because then they're jumping back and forth and they're shooting them. Same thing. The mining town attack. Fucking horrible in Bloodlines. It makes no sense why these people like Nani and those guys like drove out to a different town that they didn't even need to or know about, and then drove back to the preserve that they were at for no reason. At least in the mining town, they're driving back, and there's a purpose to it. Then the sun shower and the cave painting thing, where it's like, oh no, we know this thing happens all the time, and honestly, that's okay. Like, what's your foreshadowing? I don't know. That one kind of iffy on that, but I do want to point out. So that's in 5. Then they use that basin explosion thing. That's Tremors 7. That where they have all the they poured everything that they had into a basin and then chased it. That's what happens at the end of Tremors 7. That's the exact thing that they do to kill that Graboid. They didn't kill Bert because that's a bunch of bullshit. Bert dies when Michael Gross dies. Honestly, Bert dies when Michael Gross doesn't want to do it. Like, I wish that it was a case of Michael Gross didn't want to do it anymore, but Bert dies when Michael Gross dies. You hear? Fuck. That's just insane. And also, people, stop trying to recast him. Like, it's dumb. It's fucking dumb. Make a new person. You know, have you heard about this thing called families? You know, where like, you have cousins and uncles and aunts and grandpas and daughters and everything else in between, and like, oh, stop recasting Val and Earl and Bert. Just bring their fucking kids in, or I even like better, bring in their other like relatives and shit. The only person who should have any kids is fucking Earl and Kate. They're like the one that I think actually made it out of there. And you can say what you want about but he was like sexualizing her. I don't know. That was a match made in just beautiful serendipity. I think they would have fallen in love forever after that. Also, I want to see Helena Shaver and Fred Ward do stuff more. I love those two. Yeah, man. Yeah. All that. And the cage is in there too. I forgot. That's one I had here written, where they use the same cage. Do all that again. I mean, I don't know what, like, I had to redo my, oh man, I keep getting stumped here, and I'm almost maybe just going to end it, or maybe not, but, because it's this whole, this movie really makes me mad. It's really dumb. I feel bad for, liking it at any point in time. You know what? And that's not true. I remember when I first watched Tremors 5 or Bloodlines, it was like, oh, this is definitely different. Okay. Like, been watching Tremors, since I was a kid, and, growing up with it, and you hit that and you're like, did you just make a different movie that we didn't know about? Well, yeah, you did. You made Jurassic Park and Chronicles of Riddick and Pacific Rim all at the same time and pretended that it was Tremors. It just really fucking blows, man. I do. I'm glad this is over. At least these two movies, or this movie, because this sucks. There's what else can be said here? It's clear what Universal's trying to do. And I love this Steve quote that I wrote down. We're only the creators. We're only the creators, man. Yeah, dude, you made this. You made this happen, and you got kicked out. Would people, Christians and shit, believe? Oh yeah, you kicked God out of heaven. I'm fine with that. I wonder if there, people at Universal that, if Jesus came back, would they shoot him in the face? Because he was speaking Arabic and tanned skin? Probably. I have that creeping assumption. Because Steve talks about that, being in that shift of the time where things went from, you would have a production, an actual producer that knew movies. That's why they loved Jim Jacks, and he was a huge influence in getting Tremors made, because he wasn't necessarily a Universal guy, but he was a movie guy. He knew movies and loved them, and knew what Tremors was, and was like, let's fucking make this shit out of it. And then the shift, because Steve talks about where they were talking to a person at Universal, and she was just so gung-ho about everything that they were doing, and being the producer, and then coming back like a week later, and oh yeah, no, they've been fired and replaced by the head of marketing, and being there for the shift from things going from people who like to make movies to people who just want to make a bunch of money, and they're all marketing and advertising execs, and that's all. It's just blood in the water of just like how much money can we make? Absolutely depressing, because movies are an art form, film is an art form, TV is an art form, all of that, theater, they're all those wonderful art forms, and anytime it gets taken over by the concept of greed, you're fucked. You're just absolutely fucking. That's why I love Tremors, and I will fight and do anything for Stampede, because they know they're just good people that just know what's right and how to be humans and not be a robot. Robot Tikanto. It goes a long way, people. I imagine you're only watching and listening to this podcast because you can sense my humanity and sincerity. Or at least that's like the one thing I hope shines through, because I got nothing else. All I have is how much I give a shit, and I care a lot. I care a lot. This has nothing to do with me. The Tremors Saga people asked me to do this podcast, and I was so angry about everything else. It's just I could talk about Tremors for fucking hours. Let's do this. And I'm on episode 7 now, and this is just okay, you said you could do this. Are you sure? This is a lot, man. You've got 13 episodes of a TV show and 4 more movies to do, and then you got interviews and shit after that. It's yeah, fuck yeah, man. We're doing this. We're doing this because all that Hollywood bullshit all gonna change. We're all done with it. Make your own movies. Everybody gets to fund their own shit. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you, Disney. You heard it here, folks. The original fucker-overs of copyright law. The whole reason we're probably in this goddamn mess in the first place. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you. Fuck you. Kevin, if Harley's listening to that, maybe skip over the fuck Disney part. Just kidding. I hope you're not having a 5-year-old listen to this. Fuck, man. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah, with that, I'm gonna wrap things up because I'm just. Oh, this is the dumbest thing. I am gonna wrap it up, but I just want to I always find the little nuggets on the Stampede page that I like to share because it just shows how much they're thinking and shit. If you love El Blanco and you love perfection and everything that happens in the TV show, there's a great El Blanco was learning how to communicate. They didn't know why, but he was making rapping and tapping noises and on hollow things. And the Perfectionites didn't know. So what was El Blanco trying to say? Were there talking shriekers? Tell us, El Blanco. Tell us. I know that has nothing to do with what I was just talking about, but there you go. Also, there's in that sense, if you watch the TV show, it's very clear that El Blanco is becoming their friend, or not their friend, but it's a symbiotic relationship. I was going to say love-hate, but symbiotic relationship where, El Blanco brings tourists to town, and the Perfectionites probably don't tell the tourists everything that they need to know. I don't mean that in a sincere, they let people die and shit, but, I mean, they probably look away a little more than they should. That's it, yeah. And then, Burt Gummer fucking killed his first person in this movie, and we didn't even talk about it. I mean, I talked about it in that commentary, but they didn't even talk about it in the movie, man. Fuck, Burt Gummer killed somebody, and we just glossed over it. Oh, man. Yeah. Man. God, that is the indicative. You don't need fixing, Pop. Well, you just fucking killed somebody, man. All right. Now, to my thank yous. Or wait, my thank yous are in here somewhere. So many notes. These are all notes. So, not even to keep track. This is more just I got to take these notes to really be did this happen? Yeah, no, that's what happened. That's what fucking happened. So with that, let's do some thank yous. This is my favorite part of everything. I want to thank you because I didn't, and I'm going to start out at the top of this. I did not thank Hollywood Unseen and Another Film Nerd in my last episode. I talked about them a lot, but I didn't thank them at the end. Hollywood and Unseen, Graffiti with Punctuation, Another Film Nerd, thank you so much for reaching out to Steve, asking him all those questions, and getting that synopsis of Tremors 5 Gummer Down Under out there. Your article is one of the greatest things to use to explain to people just what the fuck is happening. Now I can't wait to read your article about the Steve and Brent's unmade Frankenstein and the Wolfman script. That's going to be, fuck yeah, man. Cool. And if you love Hollywood Unseen and Another Film Nerd, check out the rest of their articles. They do one on the Dark Tower and Fletch, fucking shit ton of others. They even did one on the Tremors pilot, which I talked about in that episode. So go those guys. I want to thank again Steve S.S. Wilson. Fucking, oh man, I may have done too many impressions of you during this podcast because I knew you were listening and I couldn't stop the urge to keep doing it. It's a tick. You should, man, if you watched TV shows with me, it's annoying, especially Venture Brothers. I just go through them all. But thank you, Steve, so much. We're really helping get all this started and just rolling this ball and stuff. And a huge thank you to Bob Wilson for filming all of those lost tapes. And thank you, Michelle, for really putting the word out there and getting a whole bunch of shit done. Thank you to Kevin Collins, again, one of the few people who always listen to this podcast on the first one out. Always waiting for it, always ready, always giving feedback. He's starting his own. He's been reading and been writing a Wormverse story for Stampede Tremors about this guy named Stephen Wilson who reads about graboids happening in perfection, reads about what happened, and he's trying to write a book, and he gets, I'll go ahead and take a distractive tour over there and find out what happens. Ends up meeting a guy, Clancy Hogarts, and goes through a whole bunch of cool shit. And he's actually doing a whole reading of it, which if I can get the Tremor Saga people to put that up somewhere too when he uploads that. Can't wait. Been waiting. Thank you, Kevin. Also another Kevin, not the fat one in jean shorts, Kevin Smith and Harley Smith. Thank you both so very much. Again, Kevin, I hope Harley wasn't listening to this and you just take this and just tell her to be awesome. Keep rewatching Tremors. I started out nonverbal too, and look where I'm at. Just keep believing, man. Keep fucking believing and being a great dad, being a great parent. And thank you to Jeff Johnson and the Sons and Shadows podcast. You both, that interview with Steve was freaking awesome to listen to. And I still can't get over hearing Steve say my name that many times. I'm usually just emailing him. So that was just like, okay. Thank you. Anthony Has Issues podcast. Doing a lot of great stuff behind the scenes. A great guy I know on Facebook. Please check out all 78, 80 episodes of his podcast. Thank you. Huge thank you to a guy behind a lot of this, Glenn Maddock. In terms of, that's Brent's brother, but in terms of just being fans of stuff, like Glenn is right there at the top of his own, like he loves his own brother's work. Huge fan. He put together the 30th reunion. He has a whole bunch of videos, just uploading, caring. Like, it's really amazing how much he gives a shit about Tremors, and his brother really is what it comes down to. So thank you, Glenn. And super duper huge thank yous to Nancy Roberts, Ron Underwood, and Brent Maddock. Again, we wouldn't be here without you bringing this to you, bringing this to everybody to to learn what happened to you so you guys can get what is yours back. It doesn't matter the process that we take to do it, it is going to happen. Even if we have to bang down Universal's door and be like, motherfuckers, we will riot in the streets until Stampede Entertainment gets Tremors back. How? Just if they can have a fucking truck convoy of bullshit, we can certainly stampede Tremors about all this. We can riot in the streets or riot online. Woo! So thank you guys. And Brent, if you're listening, please go do more podcasts. I know you'll be on ours here later soon, but please go do more. Everybody needs to hear how pissed you are about all of this. It would be great. And also, I love listening to you. You are the dark to Steve's light. And big thank yous for so much of this information comes from Jonathan Melville of the Tremors Guide, Seeking Perfection, the official Tremors guide. I don't buy this unofficial bullshit. It is the official Tremors guide. Because I don't fucking see another one out there, Universal. I don't see you making one. Fuck off. Grand total, the only thing Universal ever allowed licensing rights on. And I'm pretty sure it's because they couldn't do anything. Like, because it's a work of nonfiction. You're just asking people stuff. What are you gonna license? Fuck you. But thank you, John. And if you're listening, I am astonished by the things that you have done. It's quite amazing. I thank you. Thank you, Oliver at Grindhouse Chic, for again, your idea to start your own Tremors podcast and kind of help keep this going yourself. Bob Rushy, Alicia Pearson, Ashy Slashy, and Metal Rican. Just some great people on Twitter. They are helping the Tremors saga so much more behind the scenes than anybody can know. Just fantastic. Same with Rattlesire Rattlecat, one of the first people along with Kevin to reach out and tell us what we needed to be doing better, working on this to present it in a format that works for everybody. And again, Decker Shadow and Allison Pregler, listen to your reviews like crazy. Gets me in the mindset of being angry at this. Can't wait to listen to the ones you like. There's a guy, LoJack. It's in the Tremors Saga Discord right now too, but he's running a Tremors Call of Duty mod. If you want to join in, he's got a tournament happening on February 20th. That's pretty cool. Check that out. Talk about Tremors games. And a huge one. Zoran Gavojcic of Low Carb Comedy and Long Pork. That person is amazing. I talk about doing a whole bunch more, again, behind the scenes to really get what we're doing here out there into the world. Thank you, Zoran. Thank you for your kill counts. They're fucking hilarious. Those ads are my favorite. Swiss cheese and bullets. It's a thing. Thank you, Zoran. Thank you. And yeah, you're gonna do Tremors the series as a kill count. So best get preparing, buddy. All the episodes. Yeah, you like that. I don't care if they're only 5 minutes apiece. I want every episode of that series done by Zoran Gavojcic. And then, yeah, they get the Graboid game when that happens. They get that box. They're the first one. And I don't get paid for this at all. There's that button there in the corner. If there is one, honestly, I don't really know for sure. But I'd rather you support Stampede, buy Steve Wilson's books, Frady Cats and Tucker's Monster, and Brett Maddock has a book too, The Films of Jacques Tati. Check that out. Steve also has another book, Puppets and People. That's like a fucking $600 book, because it's that rare and limited. Which I just happened to grab for $40 one time on Amazon. So just be looking. Just if you see it, it's great. He goes over everything about the animation. And I mean animation, you're thinking like drawing and stuff. No, animatronic animation, actual like figures and stuff. Fascinating, fucking fascinating. I get his like him loving Ray Harryhausen. Steve. Yeah. What was it? Harryhausen. That was the books. Like I said, you can support me if you want. Fuck it. But I also I gotta point this out. There's the Lava Lamp Foundation. If I'm gonna fucking plug anything, you are not alone. You are worthy. You are loved. A friend of mine. Boom. Died of a heroin overdose, and he died because the people that were around him were like, oh no, we don't want to take you to the hospital because we don't want to get in trouble, and he died. And he was like 28 at the time. Absolutely killed me. And his brother and sister started up a foundation, the Lava Lamp Foundation, that is just about supporting people through their addictions, letting people know that you don't have to be afraid and you can get help and not worry about judgment in that sense. Go out there. Like I said, I don't really do anything. I'm a very sober person besides my weed and my coffee. But if you have those problems and you need anything like that, it's always nice to know that someone cares and isn't just going to immediately put their nose down at you. And yeah, so if you want to support the Lava Lamp Foundation, that's a great way. If you're into that kind of thing, please do. Like I said, they've got some great sweaters and t-shirts and everything, or just give them money. Like I said, it just makes me so fucking sad. And they're the only charity I really know, so I like to plug them in any kind of sense. And I love to thank my family, because it's the Oscars and that's what we do. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Lacey. And thank you, Sean Day, Chantrell, and Samaje and Shamar. You guys are awesome. Like I said, I do this a lot for you. I know that you'll be watching me one day and oh, wow, we knew Levi when Levi was a fetus. Well, look at that. All the way back around. I know my dad will be Bob Wilson on the set taking photos of the Lost Tapes. Once we get, he'll be doing his own Lost Tapes once we get this series back to Stampede. It's going to be dope, yo. Thank you, all those people. And finally, my favorite huge thank you to my wife, my love, my everything. Thank you, Caitlin Marie Lutt Burzloff. You are fan-dabby-dozy. Couldn't do any of this without you and all of your support. I love you. I love you so much, babe. I love everybody. I love you all. It's so much love that's here, but it's not for fucking Universal. Yeah, man. But that's been our Talking Tremors podcast. I hope that it didn't make you want to end it all because you didn't think humanity was worth it anymore. I hope we gave you some hope back. Gave you a little bit of something to make you feel better. That's all we can give you. I hope it's okay, people. Please, love the Tremors. Not the fucking new ones, but love the Tremors. The old ones. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to end it. I always like ending with a good quote. Something that summarized what we're doing here. As Tacopa says, we must do what we can with what we have. Well said. Well said. So with that, folks, do what you can with what you got. Because when you need it and don't have it, you sing a different tune. This has been the Talking Tremors podcast. I am your host, Levi Dylan Burzloff Lutt. Make sure to go ahead and ask Stampede Entertainment any questions you got. Check out the Tremors Saga people on Twitter. They seem to know what the fuck they're doing. And let's keep doing this, man. Hashtag Stampede Tremors with Talking Tremors. I love the Tremors 4. The soundtrack is really awesome. Listen to Tremors 4. It's made by Jay Ferguson. Oh my god. So the soundtrack for Tremors 4 is actually the soundtrack that was supposed to be used for the series. It was so good that they brought it back. Oh, listen to the Tremors. It's so really good. I love the Tremors, and you should too. Have a great one, folks.